Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu, Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. It counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you are on NetLogger, I will get you immediately logged in that way. I monitor the AIM window, and I'll get you checked in. Take them over the air, of course. I'll take them via email. My email is ki0ar@ki0ar.com. For anyone out there listening that does not have access to NetLogger or being able to transmit on the radio, but are listening. Also, we are on YouTube as well under the same name, the Colorado Astronomy Net. You can look for that. So if you'd like to chat over in YouTube, you're more than welcome to as well. Right now, I'm going to acknowledge we got 7 check-ins via NetLogger, plus a new call on the list. So we'll get to that in a sec. Right now, Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Kirk, W9WAS, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to get back to you in just a sec. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. Got a bunch of other check-ins. Elijah, KF0RVB, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see, James. KE9DJN, thanks for checking in tonight. Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. Jay, AI7OF, thanks for checking in tonight. And Dave, WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. Kirk, I see you're new on the list, so welcome to the net. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra. Call sign is Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I'm going to let this thing reset and get right back to you. Okay, Kirk, W9WAS. Always like to touch base with my first-time check-ins. Find out a little bit about you, your interest, your background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out, or you've been doing it for decades, or somewhere in between. I always like to find out a little bit about what the experience level I have. So on here, because you guys are my experience as well. So I've been doing this for almost 30 years. The way it works is I'm obviously taking some check-ins. We got some a couple of quick announcements, some local astronomical news, a couple of bulletins, and a rocket report. Then I like to go down the list afterwards and for question, answer, and sharing of other interests that you guys have, as well as observational reports. For sure, I love those. Right now, Kirk, W9WAS, again, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background, interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you for picking me up. I appreciate it. And just actually learned about this net tonight. I was listening to another net. So, but my wife and I are kind of we're just getting into it. She has I think it's called a C-Star 500. So we've messed around with that a little bit and, got some photos, and it's actually a pretty cool little device. It's got its own GPS system on it. Yeah, we are what would be considered newbies at this. So once we heard that there was a astronomy net, we thought, well, you know what? We're just going to have to listen and see what this is all about. This is the 8S. Back to you.
All right, Kirk, welcome. We got lots of experienced operators here. We got some. Like I said, I've been doing the net for 30 years. Been in astronomy a lot longer than that, probably another several decades beyond that. Most of it's amateur, some educational as well. Way back in my college days, we got some observational astronomers here, and some radio astronomers, others that take the digital photography as well. So astrophotographers, that's what I'm trying to say, on here as well. Hopefully you can stick around. We got lots of good information. And definitely, if you have any questions, we do have the question and answer period. And that will probably get around to in about an hour, a little less than that. We'll see how things go. It does tend to run a little long, so but you find out a whole lot of information from the other check-ins as well. So I'd appreciate that. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got Mike KO5AOK over on YouTube, so thanks for that, Mike. So if anybody is listening out there on YouTube, hi, I'm waving to you now. So you can certainly chat in the chat window. I'll keep an eye on that, but more directly to the radio, what I'm directing everything to. I'll go ahead and begin taking check-ins over the air. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
This is November 9 on a Papa. Oh, and 9 and a TG. South Park, Indiana. My name is Mick. Mike.
Okay, Mick, we lost you there a little bit. I got November 9. I know there was a papa in there or something like that. If you could come back again slowly, a little scratchy on the reception here tonight. But this is amateur radio. We work with what we can. So, if you could give me your call sign again phonetically, I'll get you on the list.
I will repeat that. November 9, Papa Golf. I have pretty good excuses. The name is Mick. Mick, India, Charlie, Hugh.
Okay, Mick, we got you on the list. We got that time. N9PGE, thanks for checking in tonight. We got Graham over on YouTube. Let's see. no radio, but I'm glad you're over there on YouTube tonight, Graham. MM1DEA from Scotland, so thanks for that. And like I said before, this is an international net, so I do like to get everybody from all over the world. So I think I got 30 plus countries on on my DXCC, at least for the astronomy net. Let's see. I like to have some more there, but all right. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. I'll get into the announcements and to the local astronomical news, and then I'll look for some more check-ins. If you're out there listening in and want to check in, and if you have NetLogger or YouTube, I'll see you pop up over on either one of those. Again, you can always send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com. All right, let's see. Announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the newsletter and the web page. I also, let's see, I am in the process of remembering what I did 25 years ago to set up my website. I have the domain name of coastronomy.net, but I need to figure out how to redo, set up a website again for that. So we'll have to figure that out. But I got to remember like I said, what I did 25 years ago when I set up my other ones. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be migrating over to that when I get that figured out. I volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasbourg on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m., always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org for more information. The IAAS also has a club call, which is Kilo Zero Alpha Alpha Sierra, K0AAS. So if you happen to hear them on the radio, be sure to say hi, hey, and learn more about that. Especially on Friday evenings when they are meeting, they may hear you and give you a call. Or you can give them a call, I should say. Also, the IAAS is on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and give them a like. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you do have Facebook, give us both a like. On Wednesday, let's see, on Mondays and Wednesdays, around 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, Jack, KE0VH, hosts his flight simulations over on YouTube. It's Captain Jack Flight Sim. If you're interested in flight simulations and flying along with Jack, he does have a whole bunch of other sim pilots, some real pilots, and some real amateur radio operators on there as well. You may want to check that out. He's been busy lately, so you may want to check out some of his previous flights. I don't know if he'll be there tomorrow. He's been rather busy this year with that. So, but CAPNJACKFLTSIM for more. Sure, check that out over on YouTube. That's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the local astronomical news for September. A new month, new information, some interesting things occurring. I'll let this repeater reset and then get into it. I'll start off, as usual, with the phases of the moon. We got a full moon occurring on the 7th. We got a last quarter moon on the 14th. Got a new moon on the 21st, and a first quarter moon coming up on the 29th. Interesting activity on both the 7th and the 21st with the moon. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth, this month on the 10th. It will be 226,662 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, on the 26th. It will be 251,996 miles from Earth. Planetary highlights for September. September's sky is rich with opportunities. Titan's shadow continues to transit Saturn. The ringed planet reaches opposition along with Neptune, with both worlds in the same region of the sky. Mars is descending towards solar conjunction. Uranus is a fine binocular target, while Jupiter dominates the early morning. Venus starts the month near M44, then inches closer to a conjunction with Regulus and the crescent moon. This excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, September 2025, page 28. On with the planets. Mercury will be at superior conjunction on the 13th. That means that Mercury is actually behind the Sun from us. When it is at inferior conjunction, that means that Mercury is between us and the Sun. Right now it's behind. It will be behind the Sun on the 13th. Mercury is rising about 5:30 a.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Mercury returns to the evening sky, setting about 7:13 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes before sunrise, just above the eastern horizon during the first week of the month, and about 30 minutes after sunset to the west during the last week of the month. Mercury moves from the constellation of Leo into Virgo, shining at magnitude minus 1.3 on the 1st. Quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the relative magnitude or brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see is about 6th magnitude on optimum conditions, dark skies, away from the city lights, things like that. So a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. The scale is actually designed so that every 5 magnitudes is 100 times differential in brightness between the objects. So a magnitude 1 object, which is 5 times bright, or 5 magnitudes brighter than a magnitude 6 object, is actually 100 times brighter. Keep an ear out when I talk about Saturn and Neptune coming up. Venus rises about 3:52 a.m. on the 1st and about 4:57 a.m. by month's end. Look for Venus to the east-southeast about an hour before sunrise. Venus moves from the constellation of Cancer into Leo, shining at magnitude -3.9 on the 15th. And the Earth will be at the autumnal equinox, which occurs at 2:19 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 22nd. That marks the point in the Earth's orbit where we have an equal number of hours for daylight and nighttime. After that, the nights will be longer than the daylight hours. So for the northern hemisphere, and actually shorter for the southern hemisphere. Mars is setting about 8:58 p.m. on the 1st, about 7:49 p.m. by month's end. Look for Mars low to the west in the evening, about 30 minutes after sunset. Mars is in the constellation of Virgo, shining at magnitude 1.6. Yeah, try to catch Mars in the next, this month, because that is actually rapidly approaching the western horizon, so it'll be a little more difficult to spot. It'll be swinging around the sun and returning to the morning sky later this year. We got Jupiter rising at 2:13 a.m. on the 1st and about 12:37 a.m. by month's end. Look for Jupiter to the south in the early morning hours before dawn. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude -2.0. Saturn will be at opposition on the 21st, rising as the sun sets. So what that means is that it is on the opposite side from us than where the sun is. So actually makes Saturn at its best viewing for the year. Both Saturn and Neptune will be at opposition. Saturn rises at 8:22 p.m. on the 1st and about 6:19 p.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn low to the east late in the evening. Saturn is at its best viewing for the year. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.6. Then we got Uranus, will be stationary on the 6th. Okay, I'll start that one over again. Uranus will be stationary on the 6th, neither appearing to move forward nor backward relative to the background stars. So what that means, it's moving right along with the stars through the night sky. Uranus rises at 10:57 p.m. on the 1st, about 8:58 p.m. by month's end. And for those of you who have been following along, you notice that these planets are now have made their journey through the early morning hours and are starting to appear in the evening sky now. So we'll look forward to those apparitions coming up in the fall and the winter as well. Look for Uranus to the southeast in the late evening. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.7. And we got Neptune will be at opposition on the 23rd, rising as the sun sets. Neptune rises at 8:20 p.m. on the 1st, about 6:21 p.m. by month's end. Look for Neptune low to the east late in the evening, within 1 degree of Saturn all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.7. So Neptune is a full 7 magnitudes greater than Saturn, which means it's well over 100 times dimmer. We're probably closer to 130 times dimmer than Saturn. But for these two, they're very close together. So if you could find Saturn rising, you may be able to see Neptune. It will be just almost horizontal with it at a 9 o'clock position soon after it rises, within about 2 full moon widths, maybe a little closer than that. So look for that. And even though it appears that Neptune is rising a few minutes earlier than Saturn, it's just because of the geometry of the orbit. It's not leading it. It's actually, it almost appears like it's trailing it. Saturn is a little bit below it when it rises, and then it'll swing around and you can watch them all night. And yeah, let's see, Neptune will be at its best as well this year, or this this month. So this will be a great time to get out there with even binoculars or a small telescope to see if you can spot both Saturn and Neptune. Neptune is rather elusive and a little trickier to spot, but since you've got Saturn very, very close, it will make it a little easier to spot. Neptune is kind of a bluish, you'll see a bluish dot. Saturn's rings are nearly edge on. So you'll see most of the Saturn's, both of the northern and southern hemispheres. And you may also want to look to see if you can see Titan moving across the face of Saturn as well. It's a site, Saturn's largest moon, Titan. That's what's called a transit. So take a look for that as well. The planets do show up as a discernible disk through the eyepiece. So all the way through Uranus, you'll see a definite, and Neptune, you'll see a discernible disk as opposed to a pinpoint of light. The stars will look like pinpoints no matter how you look at them because they're so far away. But the planets, you'll see a disk. So definitely look for that. For our dwarf planets, we've got Ceres rising about 9:55 p.m. on the 1st, about 7:46 p.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the south near midnight when it is highest in the sky. Ceres is in a constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 7.8, and it's actually not that high for those of us here in the Denver area. The further south you get, the higher they'll be. Pluto rises at 5:53 p.m. on the 1st and about 3:54 p.m. by month's end. The best time to spot Pluto will be in the late evening when it is highest in the sky to the south. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.2. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. For Pluto, you'll definitely need at least a 10 to 12 inch size mirrored telescope to see that one for sure. My 8-inch telescope will not cut it. Yeah, the dimmest object that I have seen through my telescope is about 11.5, and that's pushing its limit to magnitude 12. So you'll definitely need some larger scopes. With Pluto, very dark skies lots of patience. You may have to look at the same spot several nights in a row to see what little dot moves relative to the background sky. Moving very, very slowly, so it may take you a while to figure that one out. Meteor showers. There are no major meteor showers. Let's see, no major meteor showers are active in September. So we enter a bit of a lull after the excitement of August. We do have some minor ones though, but right now, meteoric dust from thousands of comets passing over the eons is visible before dawn as the zodiacal light. As sunlight reflecting off the dust creates a faint glow, you'll need a very dark eastern horizon with no streetlights nearby. Higher elevations get a better view too. The zodiacal light appears as a faint cone-shaped glow aligned with the ecliptic. That's the line that the sun and the planets, the invisible line that the sun and the planets follow across the sky. Or basically, if you put a light bulb at the center of the Earth, it would be the line that the equator would shine on, the imaginary line that would be across the sky where the equator is. On September mornings, well before dawn, the high angle of the ecliptic benefits views of it. The broad base of the glow is in Leo, as that constellation rises and narrows higher in the sky through Cancer and Gemini. Catch it on moonless nights in the 3rd and 4th week of September for the darkest skies. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, page, let's see, September 2025, page 29. We do have a comet. We have comet C 2024 E1 Wirchhoff. Is passing through the constellation of Corona Borealis high to the west in the evening. Mid-month will be the easiest time this month to spot the comet shining around 12th to 10th magnitude, an 8-inch scope or greater, and dark skies will be needed to view it. So again, you may have to wait till later in the month to spot that one. Well, the full moon is on on the 7th, so after that you may have to contend with some waning gibbous moon in the late evening and early morning hours. All right, speaking of those full moons and new moons, a partial solar eclipse occurs on the 21st. This eclipse is visible from New Zealand, plus a thin strip of Australia's eastern coast, various Pacific islands, and parts of Antarctica. So if you're traveling south, you might be able to see that partial eclipse. The longest total lunar eclipse since 2022. Totality will be visible from Australia, Asia, Africa, and Europe. Around 85% of the world's population has a chance to see this eclipse. I forgot to put in that date. That will be on the 7th. I got some corrections to make on my... I have some corrections to make on my newsletter here. If you happen to be traveling halfway around the world over to India, which is basically where that lunar eclipse is centered on, you may see that. I'm sure you'll find plenty of websites presenting that on their webcams and things like that, but we'll have to travel. Basically, if you draw a line, a longitudinal line from here all the way north to the other side of the world, that's where you're going to see that lunar eclipse. And that's it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins. We do have a check-in over on YouTube. We've got KJ0JOM. Bob, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see if that's a new call on the list. I kind of have a feeling that it might be. Nope, you've checked in before, Bob, so thanks for that. Anyone else listening over on YouTube, just let me know if you've got a call sign. I'd love to hear that. If not, just I'll see your name pop up and we'll get you logged in as well on over there from YouTube. But right now, I'll go ahead and see if there are any more check-ins over the air. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Alpha Charlie 6, Coast Guard, AC6CG, Dave, in Hayward, California.
Okay, good evening to you, Dave, AC6CG. Thanks for checking in tonight. All right, no one else over on YouTube. I don't, let me check my emails real quick, see if there's anybody over there. Nope, nobody over there, and nobody else on NetLogger. So we'll continue on. All right, what are we going to continue with? The bulletins for this evening. For those of you who may be interested in ISS passes over your local area, visible ones anyway. Actually, if you're looking for all of the passes as well. But right now we talk about visible passes. Those are a little more interesting to see. But also, you can track them during the day for those of you who like to work satellites or see where the ISS is, or work some of the satellite TV that they do every now and then. Right now, you may want to check out this website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. And the one reason I like about this particular website is it gives me a nice list of the visible passes over Denver area anyway. But put in your home coordinates, and you put in your home coordinates and you can log in, and it'll come up with fairly accurate times, locations for those ISS passes. Most of the, most of the, oh, that's neat. ISS passes over the Denver area are transitioning from morning to evening in the next week, 10 days. So that's nice. You don't have to get up so early. You can stay up a little later. But one thing I like about this particular website is I can click on a particular date of interest for a particular pass, and I get a nice large star chart, which I'm displaying over on YouTube right now. You can take a look at that, and you can see the path of the ISS through the skies and relate it to the various constellations that it's going through. Okay, we do have some interesting passes over the Denver area on the morning of September 5th. At 5:25 a.m., the ISS travels from the west-northwest to the southeast, peaking about 65 degrees above the southwest horizon. Nice, solid 6-minute pass. So those are the good ones. They're almost overhead. There are some other passes along the way. You can always check that out. I do recommend you do sign up for it. Put in your home coordinates, and then you can see when the ISS is going to be traveling over your area. This website has a whole bunch more information other than the ISS as well. So it's got Starlink stuff, ISS, the Tiangong satellite, other amateur radio satellites, Starlink passes as well. Solar eclipse information, more planetary information as well. So again, www.heavens-above.com is the website. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right. Well, the bulletin for this evening, we're going to Mars. This item is dated August 28th. NASA Marsquake data reveals a lumpy nature of red planet's interior. This is from Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Rocket material that impacted Mars lies scattered in giant lumps throughout the planet's mantle, offering clues about Mars' interior and its ancient past. What appear to be fragments from the aftermath of massive impacts on Mars that occurred 4.5 billion years ago have been detected deep below the planet's surface. The discovery was made thanks to NASA's now retired InSight lander, which recorded the findings before the mission's end in 2022. The ancient impacts released enough energy to melt continent-sized swaths of the early crust and mantle into vast magma oceans, simultaneously injecting the impactor fragments and Martian debris deep into the planet's interior. There's no way to tell exactly what struck Mars. The early solar system was filled with a range of different rocky objects that could have done so, including some so large that they were effectively protoplanets. The remains of these impacts still exist in the form of lumps that are as large as 2.5 miles, or about 4 kilometers across, and scattered throughout the Martian mantle. They offer a record preserved only on worlds like Mars, whose lack of tectonic plates has kept its interior from being churned up the way Earth is through a process known as convection. The finding was reported Thursday, August 28th, in a study published by the journal Science. We've never seen the inside of a planet in such fine detail and clarity before, said the paper's lead author, Konstantinos Charalambos of Imperial College London. What we're seeing is a mantle studded with ancient fragments. Their survival to this day tells us Mars' mantle has evolved sluggishly over billions of years. On Earth, features like these may well have been largely erased. InSight, which was managed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California, placed the first seismometer on Mars' surface in 2018. The extremely sensitive instrument recorded 1,319 Marsquakes before the lander's end of mission in 2022. Quakes produce seismic waves that change as they pass through different kinds of material, providing scientists a way to study the interior of a planetary body. To date, the InSight team has measured the size, depth, and composition of Mars' crust, mantle, and core. This latest discovery regarding the mantle's composition suggests how much is still waiting to be discovered within InSight's data. We knew Mars was a time capsule bearing records of its early formation, but we didn't anticipate just how clearly we'd be able to see with insight, said Tom Pike of Imperial College London, co-author of the paper. Quake hunting. Mars lacks the tectonic plates that produce the tremblers many people in seismically active areas are familiar with, but there are two other types of quakes on Earth that also occur on Mars, those caused by rocks cracking under heat and pressure and those caused by meteoroid impacts. Of the two types, meteoroid impacts on Mars produce high-frequency seismic waves that travel from the crust deep into the planet's mantle, according to a paper published earlier this year in Geophysical Research Letters. Located beneath the planet's crust, the Martian mantle can be as much as 960 miles, or about 1,550 kilometers thick, and is made of solid rock that can reach temperatures as high as 2,732 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 1,500 degrees Celsius. Scrambled signals. The new science paper identifies 8 Mars quakes whose seismic waves contained strong high-frequency energy that reached deep into the mantle, where their seismic waves were distinctly altered. When we first saw this in our quake data, we thought the slowdowns were happening in the Martian crust, Pike said. But then we noticed that the farther seismic waves traveled through the mantle, the more these high-frequency signals were being delayed. Using planet-wide computer simulations, the team saw that the slowing down and scrambling happened only when the signals passed through small, localized regions within the mantle. They also determined that these regions appear to be lumps of material with a different composition than the surrounding mantle. With one riddle solved, the team focused on another, how these lumps got there. Turning back the clock, they concluded that the lumps likely arrived as giant asteroids or other rocky material that struck Mars during the early solar system, generating those oceans of magma as they drove deep into the mantle, bringing with them fragments of crust and mantle. Charalambos likens the patterns to shattered glass, a few large shards with many smaller fragments. The pattern is consistent with a large release of energy that scattered many fragments of material throughout the mantle. It also fits well with current thinking that in the early solar system, asteroids and other planetary bodies regularly bombarded the young planets. On Earth, the crust and uppermost mantle is continuously recycled by plate tectonics, pushing a plate's edge into the hot interior, where, through convection, hotter, less dense material rises and cooler, denser material sinks. Mars, by contrast, lacks tectonic plates, and its interior circulates far more sluggishly. The fact that such fine structures are still visible today, Charalambos said, tells us Mars hasn't undergone the vigorous churning that would have smoothed out these lumps. And in that way, Mars could point to what may be lurking beneath the surface of other rocky planets that lack plate tectonics, including Venus and Mercury. More about InSight. JPL managed InSight for NASA's Science Mission Directorate. InSight was part of NASA's Discovery program managed by the agency's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Lockheed Martin Space in Denver built the InSight spacecraft, including its cruise stage and lander, and supported spacecraft operations for the mission. A number of European partners, including France's Centre National Etudes Spéciales, CNES, and the German Aerospace Center DLR supported the InSight mission. CNES provided the seismic experiment for interior structure, or SEIS, instrument to NASA with the principal investigator at IPGP, or Institut de Physique de Global de Paris. Significant contributions for SEIS came from IPGP, the Max Planck Institute for Solar Research, or MPS, in Germany, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, ETH in Zurich, in Switzerland, Imperial College London, and Oxford University in the United Kingdom, and JPL. What a mouthful. There we go. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And I have my assistant cat here who's bugging me for treats tonight. Okay. Steve, we got you on the list. VM6VAY. Thanks for checking in tonight. Oh, let's see. Over on YouTube. And I got you down as listening tonight. So thanks for that. I haven't seen Ed check in. And I haven't got a text. Let's see. There we go. We do have Ed out there monitoring W6RDZ. Okay, and so I will be, he's just monitoring tonight, he's working, so I will be delivering the rocket report in just a sec. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Here's the rocket report for this week. This rocket report covers the period from August 26th through September 9th. Last week's launches, 6 total launches. Let's see. In the past week, all of them SpaceX, we'll count, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually I got 5 SpaceX and one Israeli launch. So there we go, actually, so we got, there we go. Start off, go SpaceX, go Starship. Let's take a deeper look at last week's most successful SpaceX Starship launch, Starship Test Flight 10. SpaceX's August 27, 2025 statement. Starship's 10th flight test lifted off on August 26, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Central Time from Starbase, Texas, taking a significant step forward in developing the world's first fully reusable launch vehicle. Every major objective was met, providing critical data to inform designs of the next generation Starship and Super Heavy. The flight test began with Super Heavy successfully lifting off by igniting all 33 Raptor engines and ascending over the Gulf of America. Successful ascent was followed by a hot staging maneuver with Starship's upper stage igniting its 6 Raptor engines to separate from Super Heavy and continue the flight to space. Following stage separation, the Super Heavy booster completed its boost back burn to put it on a course to a pre-planned splashdown zone. The booster descended and successfully initiated its landing burn, intentionally disabling one of its 3 center engines during the final phases of the burn and using a backup engine from the middle ring. Super Heavy entered into a final hover above the water before shutting down its engines and splashing down into the water. Starship completed a full duration ascent burn and achieved its planned velocity, successfully putting it on a suborbital trajectory. The first in-space objective was then completed, with 8 Starlink simulators deployed in the first successful payload demonstration from Starship. The vehicle then completed the second ever in-space relight of a Raptor engine, demonstrating a key capability for future deorbit burns. Moving into the critical re-entry phase, Starship was able to gather data on the performance of its heat shield and structure as it was intentionally stressed to push the envelope on vehicle capabilities. Using its 4 flaps for control, the spacecraft arrived at its splashdown point in the Indian Ocean, successfully executed a landing flip, and completed the flight test with a landing burn and soft splashdown. Over the course of a flight test campaign, success will continue to be measured by what we are able to learn, and Starship's 10th flight test provided valuable data by stressing the limits of vehicle capabilities and providing maximum excitement along the way. While Flight 10 was a huge success, there were a few minor anomalies worth mentioning. One Raptor engine was lost midway on ascent in the second booster ring and did not relight for the boost back burn. Its loss did not, however, impair the mission. When you have 33 engines on the booster, you have a good margin of redundancy built in. 2. The ship did experience an explosion in the skirt of the engine bay on ascent. No word on the cause. This did damage the skirt and the lower part of an aft flap. This damage exacerbated re-entry heating on the damaged lower control flap. However, the flap continued to function all the way to landing in the Indian Ocean. No word yet on the cause of the energetic event. And 3, the heat tiles could be seen stained orange and white on Starship's landing. Elon confirmed the orange film was rust generated by a few metallic heat tiles and appears to have been spread over the ship's belly by transpirational cooling using liquid oxygen. And you can check out Scott Manley's YouTube article. There's links in the published rocket report on my website as well. And it's also a link in the link is also if you check out the YouTube channel as well, there's links posted for that too. I'll go ahead and post that link after I get through here in the AIM window and over on YouTube as well, just in case. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, continuing Wednesday, August 27th at 5:10 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX launched Starlink Group 10-56 on a Falcon 9 from SLC-40 Cape Canaveral Space Force Base, Florida. 28 V2 minis went to low Earth orbit. It was booster B1095's second flight. This flight marked SpaceX's 40th Falcon booster landing on a drone ship. Thursday, August 28th at 02:12 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX set a new reuse record and successfully launched Starlink Group 10-11 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Boost B1067 became the first Falcon 9 booster to refly 30 times. Very impressive, as the original design goal for Falcon 9 was just 10 reflights. Friday, August 29th at 22:59 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX launched Starlink Group 17-7 on a Falcon 9 from SLC-4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. 24 V2 mini Starlink internet satellites went to polar sun synchronous orbit. It was booster B1052's 15th flight. Sunday, August 31st, SpaceX launched Starlink Group 10-14 from SLC-40 Cape Canaveral, Florida. 28 Starlinks joined the mega constellation in Leo. With this mission, SpaceX placed more than 1,900 Starlinks in orbit in 2025 across 77 Falcon 9 launches. The mega constellation now exceeds 8,000 satellites. It was booster B1077's 23rd flight. And Shivyat launch of a OFEQ-19 radar spy satellite from Palmachim Air Force Base in Israel occurred at 13:30 Mountain Time today. So smile, look up. The Israelis are looking at you. Ha ha. All right. All right, let's see. Upcoming launches next week. Once again, it's an all SpaceX week. 5 SpaceX Starlink launches on the docket so far for the coming week. Today, just minutes away, Tuesday, September 22nd at 21:21 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX will launch Starlink Group 17-8 from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Tomorrow, Wednesday, September 23rd at 05:06 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is scheduled to launch Starlink Group 10-22 on a Falcon 9 from SLC-40 Cape Canaveral. Thursday, September 4th, SpaceX intends to launch Starlink Group 10-57 from Pad LC-39A, Cape Kennedy Center, Florida. Saturday, September 6th, at 09:42 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX plans to launch Starlink Group 17-9 from Pad SLC-4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. SpaceX has penciled in Monday, September 8th for the Falcon 9 launch of a Nusantara Lima mission. Nusantara Lima is an Indonesian high-throughput telecommunications satellite to operate in geostationary orbit. Space news. Ars Technica's Eric Berger reports China will likely beat the U.S. back to moon. In recent weeks, the secretive Chinese space program has reported some significant milestones in developing its program to land astronauts on the lunar surface by the year 2030. On August 6th, the China Manned Space Agency successfully tested a high-fidelity mock-up of its 26-ton Lanhui lunar lander. The test, conducted outside of Beijing, used giant tethers to simulate lunar gravity as the vehicle fired main engines and fine control thrusters to land on a cratered surface and take off from there. The test, said the agency in an official statement, represents a key step in development of China's manned lunar exploration program and also marks the first time that China has carried out a test of extraterrestrial landing and takeoff capabilities of a manned spacecraft. Apologies for that. Had to feed the cat, so he's not quite so, or she's not quite so noisy. As part of the statement, the space agency reconfirmed that it plans to land its astronauts on the moon before 2030. Then, last Friday, the space agency and its state-operated rocket developer, the China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology, successfully conducted a 30-second test firing of the Long March 10 rocket's center core with its 7 YF-100K engines that burn kerosene and liquid oxygen. The primary variant of the rocket will combine 3 of these cores to lift about 70 metric tons to low Earth orbit. These successful efforts followed a launch escape system test of the new Mengjiao spacecraft in June. A version of this spacecraft is planned for lunar missions, on track for 2030. Thus, China's space program is making demonstrable progress in all 3 of the major elements of its lunar program. The large rocket to launch a crew spacecraft, which will carry humans to lunar orbit, plus the lander that will take astronauts down to the surface and back. This work suggests that China is on course to land on the moon before the end of this decade. And that is it for tonight's Rocket Report, courtesy of Rocketman W6RDZ. Ed, wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to me, Starman Burness. KI0AR, net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay. Okay, I posted the Rocket Report links both in the AIM window on NetLogger and also over on YouTube, so you can check out the links to the various flights and definitely take a look at SpaceX 10 launch as well. Very fascinating to watch that, so take a look at that. Let's see. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo 9 Bravo Yankee uniform. Kilo 9 Bravo Yankee uniform.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Victor Charlie Victor, KS0 BC. KS0 BCU, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Victor Charlie uniform.
Okay. All right. I'm not seeing something come up over on on the system that I'm transmitting. Oh, there we go. Okay, I may have doubled with somebody. If I doubled with somebody, I didn't get your call, but I'll repeat the calls that I do have. Russell, K9BYU, thanks for checking in tonight. Elijah, KF0VCV, thanks for checking in tonight. Adelaide, KF0VCU, thanks for checking in tonight. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Delta 9, Whiskey Sierra Oscar. Kilo Delta 9, Whiskey Sierra Oscar. Whiskey 0, Delta, Papa, Charlie. Whiskey 0, Delta, Papa, Charlie. Alpha X-ray.
Okay, good evening to you, Christopher. KD9WSO, thanks for checking in tonight. Donald, W0DPC, thanks for checking in tonight. Alpha X-ray station, you doubled with Donald, Heat 1. If you can give me your call, please. Again, sir, I'll get you on the list.
Victor Kilo 5. Alpha X-ray, Victor Kilo 5, Alpha X-ray. My name is Kim, Kilowatt Yankee Mike, and we're in out.
Okay, Kim, VK5AAX, thanks for checking in tonight. You don't get off that easy with me. No in and outs tonight, especially when you're a new call. Welcome to the net, Kim. Do appreciate that. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra. If you could quickly tell us what your interest background in astronomy is. I always like to touch base with my first-time check-ins, and officially welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Kim, if you could do that for us, I'll let you go. Go ahead, please, sir.
Okay, I'd be more than happy to. Always been interested in astronomy. Own a couple of different telescopes and a block out away from the city lights. We're also a member of the ASV, Australian Astronomy Club of Victoria. We meet every Friday night on 80 metres, 3.451, and been with that group for about 25 years. Get always interested in what's happening up with the space weather and with astronomy. A nice group, and I was quite surprised to hear what the group was all about. So I thought I better come in and say good day. We're actually on a lunch break at the moment. It's just coming up to 11:43 a.m. on a Wednesday. It's a pleasure to make the acquaintance, and thanks for acknowledging my call. Back to you, Net Control.
All right, Kim, thanks for that. And again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, this net's been around for almost 30 years. It's been on the SkyHub link for almost 3. So there you go. So there's a quick little history of the net there. I'll let you get back to lunch so I can understand the quick in and out. I know you're hungry. We meet at 0100 Zulu Wednesdays for you for down under. So we started about an hour and 15 minutes ago, so you may want to make a note of that. So you said it was 11:15 there, so it would be 10 a.m. I think, or thereabouts. your time that we started up. But glad to have you. Glad to have you for sure listening in tonight. Yeah, tonight, because it's still Tuesday night here. So thanks for that. Always like to hear observation reports from down under as well. Speaking of which, this is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. I still will take check-ins via YouTube and NetLogger if you have them. And I'll look for check-ins after we go down the list. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Roy, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Bruce, and everybody on the net. And, I'm an old hippie, and I like tie-dye. But when the weather map looks like tie-dye, that's definitely a bad sign. I tell you, the smoke stratospheric, it looks like if it was a shirt, it would be pretty nice, but it's not a shirt. So, anyway, not too much imaging going on this week, but just playing with some other stuff and taking a break. But hey, hoping for better things. Next lunar cycle will be up in about 2 weeks, and boat permitting, maybe we'll image some. Back to you, my friends. This is KI7PKM.
All right, Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, and yeah, you do deserve a break every now and then. So thanks for checking in tonight. Next on the list is Kirk, W9WAS. Good evening to you, Kirk. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen. AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Ken out in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening there, Barnes. NV7SS here in Indian Springs, Nevada, under cloudy skies, so there won't be much observations tonight, I'll tell you. But I noticed the moon is just halfway illuminated there, so pretty soon we'll be seeing the whole thing there in, about 5 days. But anyway, I'm always interested in the moon burn. It's always fascinated me, the facts about the moon and everything. Did you know the moon is slowly moving away from the Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches per year? This gradual drift means that in 1 billion years, the moon will be significantly further away from our planet. Won't be around to see that, but interesting that it's actually moving away from the Earth. But anyway, there, Bertus, not much to talk about tonight, so I'll let you get on with the net. Thanks a lot for being there, and you always have a great net. I always enjoy listening to it. Take care until next week. NV7SS, back to the net.
All right, Ken, thanks for that. And also, another note, as it moves further away, when it gets further away like that, it'll start, it rotates now, once every 24 hours or so, keeping up with, shining one face at the Earth all the time. So it makes one rotation, and, that 24 days, 28 days. It will start rotating a little bit faster or a little bit slower than that, and we'll start seeing the backside of the moon. But like you say, in a billion years, I don't think I'll be around either. And of course, a billion years ago, the same thing was happening. I think the moon was maybe a little bit closer, and it was going around, and we could also see the backside of the moon, different face of the moon on as it does rotate. It'll be rotating a little slower, I do believe. So we'll look for that. But maybe not quite yet. Right now we see the same face of the moon all the time, but as it moves away, it's going to start slowing down, and we'll start seeing the backside. But it'll take a while. All right, Ken, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And good evening to you, Richard. Tonight we got you checked in, KJ5MOD. Thanks for checking in tonight. Next on the list is Elijah in Arvada, KF0RVB. Good evening to you, Elijah. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 0 Romeo Victor Bravo. Got nothing to comment on. Did some recent observation on a radio pulsar. That's about it. Back to net control. KF0RVB.
Hey, Elijah, no worries. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is James out in Indiana, KE9DJN. Good evening to you, James. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, Rip had to go. K3XO out in West Virginia, so I'll appreciate him checking in. Next on the list is Jay up in Wyoming, AI70F. Good evening to you, Jay. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Thanks, Marius. I don't have anything much interesting. It's been very cloudy the last week, so I have not observed much. But thank you for the net, Marius. You do the good work. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm happy to just be here. This is AI7LF. Thank you, Marius.
All right, Jay, no worries. Always appreciate just people being out there listening and contributing to the net. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge a couple of check-ins via YouTube, and let's see. And here on NetLogger as well. Boy, we got you checked in, N5ZIQ. Thanks for checking in tonight. Carrie, W4MUS. That's a new call on the list down in Florida, so thanks for that. Actually, I'm going to get right back to you in just a sec since that's a new call. Doug, we got you on the list too. K0ATP. Saw you over there on YouTube, so thanks for that. I'm glad you guys are using YouTube and checking in that way as well, so thanks for that. Carrie, W4MUS, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernice, that's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Been doing this for almost 30 years. Always like to touch base with my new check-ins, find out a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between. What's your interest? W4MUS, Carrie, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead. All right, no worries. We got you checked in and do appreciate you listening in there, Carrie, from Florida. And one reason I like to touch base with the East Coasters is because we do run a kind of long here on the net. I know it's late over there on the East Coast, so but definitely like to touch base with my new check-ins. Let's see, we talked to Jay. Okay, Dave. David in Ohio, WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
I've got the segment. I've been playing around with this C-Star S50 for quite a while, and I ended up getting a C-Star S30 today so that I can work on larger targets such as the North American Nebula and 1031 or so. Set it up tonight, and the skies were clear at the time, and well, I got the new telescope curve. Clouds started rolling in almost as soon as I started imaging, so the clear nights will come, but it's frustrating. Anyway, this is WE8, I'm back to that.
All right, David, as Roy, myself, and a lot of others will attest, astronomy requires patience. Lots and lots of patience. And yes, there will be those frustrating nights, even when you're just doing observational astronomy. On those partially cloudy nights, you'll go out there and point a telescope in one part of the sky. You'll get it all set up, and you're at a star party, and you got a line of 50 people behind you. You get it all focused in, then a cloud moves over. And then you see some other star or object pop out somewhere else in the sky. You move the telescope over there, and you get it all focused in. Same thing. Clouds move in. Very frustrating at times, especially when you're either trying to image or just trying to look. And then, you know, you go back and forth on some of those not so clear nights. But yes, sometimes it requires lots and lots of patience. And Roy will tell you with imaging for hours on end, keeping your fingers crossed that a cloud doesn't pass over sometime during your imaging session. I'm glad you got some new toys there, Dave. And I do post images of your guys over on the newsletter. So if you have some images that you're proud of, I would be more than welcome to showcase them both on the website and in the newsletter as well. I do that with lots of Roys, and Brian, K6SKI, has done a lot of solar work lately. Some fascinating solar images that he does. So if you've got something, send me an email, let me know, or just let me know here. Love to do that for you. All right, David, appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. For any of you checked in over on, oh, Mary, there we got you. We got you, Mary. Let's see. Have you got a call sign over there, Mary? Let me know. I think you might have. I do appreciate you checking in via YouTube. I'll get you on the list there over there too. So if you're listening in right now, I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, I'll keep an eye, kind of keep an eye out on my peripheral vision here, because YouTube is over to my left. So what was I going to say? Anybody over there on YouTube without a radio, if you've got a question or a comment, post that over in the chat, and I will check that out for sure. Let's see, Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in too via YouTube. Appreciate your comments over there. I appreciate you checking in. Next on the list is Mick in Indiana, N9PGE. Good evening to you, Mick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, what an opportune time. I flunked my butt as Kara heard you call me. One thing what I'm interested in, I think I've mentioned this before, photos, astronomy photos. Wish my cameras could do that. Not important that you offer, I think you did that, but one of these days I'm going to get a good camera so that I can put on a tripod with a time lapse and see what happens.
All right, Mick. Yeah, there's ways you can kind of get around that. It's kind of tricky with your cell phones and things like that. Some people get good images of stuff, but not very often of like the moon and the sun and things. The sun definitely gets you washed out. You got to be careful with that. The moon, if you zoom in, you lose a lot of resolution. With the newer cameras, I'm not sure. You might get some better resolution with the newer cell phone cameras, things like that. Lots of good cameras out there. There's some specially designed. David, WE8M, was talking about his. I think Kirk, a little earlier, was playing around with one. He had checked in. Roy's got some interesting cameras that he works with. You may want to check with that. Yeah, if you have NetLogger there, check those guys out on their QRZ webpage, and drop them an email, see what they're working with as well. So yeah, any camera that you can put on a tripod or piggyback on a telescope, or hook up directly to a telescope, or some of these cameras that are specifically designed for astrophotography, you may want to check those out as well. You can, anywhere from a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand, or even more if you want to really spend some money, have some fun with your Christmas money. Who knows there, Mick, but definitely lots of opportunity, and definitely this is the place to ask some questions as well. All right, Mick, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And yeah, take a look around. Search for, just do the best cameras for astrophotography, and you'll get a whole bunch of responses on the internet for that. You can see what's in your price range, things like that. For sure. Or ask Roy, KI7PKL, Brian, K6SKI, Dave, WE8M. So far, they've made some, Kirk there, W9, WAS, just getting started in it. He checked in early. He's a new call. But yeah, check that out. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Graham checked in and out from Scotland, MM1DEA. So we'll go down to Bob in Texas, KJ5JOM over on YouTube. I'm looking to see if there's anything over there. I don't see anything there, but we'll see if he's on the air. KJ5JOM, are you with us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Dave out in California, AC6CG. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we got Stephen, KM6VAY, is in Fountain tonight. Good evening to you. Stephen, what have you got for us tonight? Don't know if you're on the radio or tonight or not. His earlier comment over on YouTube, too much solar activity to fire up the 9700, so I'm moon gazing with 25 by 100 binoculars. And listening tonight, but we'll see if you're out there. You usually do check in. KM6VAY, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead, Stephen. Okay, we got Ed out there monitoring W6RDZ. Let's see. I don't know if you're able to respond either there, Ed. W6RDZ, go ahead. What have you got for us tonight?
Good evening, Bernard. Good evening to the net. Yeah, I'm mobile. Might be a little loud for you. See if I can cut some of that there. Yeah, thanks so much. Wonderful delivery of the rocket report. I was pleased with that. Thanks so much for catching it up with that secret surprise Israeli launch. That was not on the books when I went to press. So great catch on that secret Israeli launch. That's about all I've got for you. W6RD said. Your rocket man turning it back to Burness. Have a great evening, everybody.
All right, Ed. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, that was Dave's catch. He had posted that, and then I didn't really have enough time to check that out, other than what he had posted to responded after you sent the email. So, yeah, I added that in, and that's on the books as well. So yeah, with the ad lib in there, says to looking up and letting the Israelis take a picture of you as it goes over. So they're probably not spying on us, though. Well, who knows? They may be spying on something. That's for sure. All right, Ed. Appreciate you doing the rocket report. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Russell out in Weston, Colorado. K9BYU. Good evening to you, Russell. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, it's good to actually get to check in for a change. I'm always listening, but never get an opportunity to check in. So, hope everybody's doing well. But I really don't have anything for the net. Nothing new going on. Haven't made it out to the desert to do any photography or anything in a while. So, I'll just turn it back over to you. K9BYU.
All right, Russell, no worries. And by the way, I will take check-ins belatedly. If you're out there listening, you can always send me an email, even tomorrow or the next day or whenever you get around to it. You can always send me an email, say, "Hey, Bernice, I was listening to the net the other night, and just thank me or just say, hey." I'll take check-ins that way. I'll add them to the list. Like I said, JPL loves us checking in and supporting them, and that's what I do. And your check-ins do support that. So one more. They like numbers out there, as you well know. So every little bit helps. So thanks for that. That goes for anybody out there listening. You can always send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com, or look me up on QRZ and send an email that way, or however you want to do it. And just let me know you're out there listening, no matter where you are or what have you. So there you go. Speaking of which, we got John. W2JLS is listening over on YouTube, so we got you that. So that just pop up. So thanks for that, John. Let's see, where were we? Okay, next on the list. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Elijah out in Alt, Colorado. KF0VCV. Good evening to you, Elijah. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Actually, in our science class, we're doing astronomy, and we learned about cycle.
Very cool, Elijah. Very cool. Glad you're studying astronomy in class. Hopefully we can help you out by answering any questions that you have. Just remember, you still need to do your own homework. I used to be on one of those help sites and answer people's questions, and could always tell when students were trying to get me to do their homework for them. So I won't do that. I'll point you in the right direction, but I want everybody to learn. That's the whole idea behind the Astronomy Net, and like I said, I learn something something new every time I give the net, and I've been doing it for 30 years. So, Elijah, thanks for that. Learn the solar cycle and what's going on. Check out spaceweather.com. Spaceweather.com. Check out that website if you haven't already, and lot of good solar information there. You can see what the sunspot activity is going on and things like that. So check that out. Elijah, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Adelaide in Alt, Colorado. KF0VCU. Good evening to you, Adelaide. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is KF0ECU. And same with Elijah, we're homeschooled, so we are about science.
Adley, you're broken up a little bit. You broke up right after you said you were homeschooled. If you want to try again, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sorry. I think I accidentally let go of the button a little bit. But yeah, I was saying we're homeschooled, so I learned the same thing as Elijah did about the Earth's rotation today. Not tonight, today.
All right, there you go. And like I reported earlier, we are approaching the autumnal equinox. And you can look that up as well and learn more about that as well. So appreciate you both checking in. So there you go. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Christopher out in Indiana. KD9WSO. Good evening to Christopher. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Donald out in Longmont. W0DPC. Good evening to you, Donald. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Thank you. This is Donald in Longmont, Colorado. I'm ashamed to say that I haven't touched my radio in weeks, and I haven't been outside to look at the stars in weeks, so I don't have much to report. I usually try to keep reminders on my phone to let me know if there's going to be an International Space Station, but I haven't even done that. So I don't have anything exciting to report. I apologize for that, but I'll try better next time. So this is Donald in Longmont, Colorado. Whiskey 0 Delta Papa Charlie. Back to that.
No worries, Donald. Hey, it's just exciting to have you check in. How about that? It's exciting to have all you guys check in to the net. I do appreciate everyone participating and listening in to the net for sure. So I do appreciate that. Appreciate your comments. I appreciate you checking in tonight. Kim, down in Australia. VK5AAX. Wonder if he got to take a long lunch. VK5AAX, again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you. And good day to everybody that's checked in. I've left a link for our astronomy club here in Australia on the Echo Link chat page. It's been around for a long, long time. And one of my big interests is astrophotography. And of course, you do need some special equipment to do that, but surprising the results that some people get from their telephones and different cameras that aren't real high-end, but they achieve some pretty nice pictures. So yeah, we're about to head back to the place of work. We've had our Vegemite sandwich, and lunch went pretty quick listening to the net, that's for sure. So it sounds like you've got a good group there, and we're looking forward to clear skies and get out there again and have a good look and maybe take some pictures. But all good. Thank you very much, and we'll be trying to spot those exoplanets. Thanks for inviting me back in. This will be my final. VK5 Alpha Alpha X-ray, Adelaide, South Australia. All the best to everyone. Clear skies, and back to net control.
All right, Kim, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. We'll look forward to your observation reports. There is a comment out there that may be brightening to naked eye visibility come December, January timeframe. And reports are that it'll be better to be spotted in the southern hemisphere. So we'll look forward to some of those observation reports from down under for sure. So again, welcome to the net. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Richard down in New Mexico, KJ5MOD. Good evening to you, Richard. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Moy down in Texas. Let's see, you're away from the radio, late night work. So glad you're listening in, Moy. I do appreciate you checking in via YouTube tonight, so thanks for that. Next on the list is Carrie down in Florida, W4MUS. Good evening to you, Carrie. Welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Doug out in Parker, K0ATP. Good evening to you, Doug. I know you're on YouTube too. Hopefully you're on the air as well. What have you got for us tonight, Doug? Go ahead. Okay, there's Moy. I'll get back with you in just a sec. Moy, I saw you pop up over on NetLogger. Next on the list is John, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, both of you guys are over on YouTube. If you got any comments or anything you'd like to pass along to the net, just let me know over there. I'd appreciate you checking in via YouTube. Moy, I just saw you pop up over here on NetLogger. I don't know if you're on the radio. N5ZIQ, go ahead. What have you got for us tonight, Moy?
Good evening, Marcus. It's actually Boy here in Houston, back home down. Just wanted to jump in and say hello. Enjoyed the bit of the net that I was able to listen to here tonight. I had to work late this evening, but yeah, I was thinking that the rocket that went up this week was SpaceX. Nice launch of the heavy rocket there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Moy, that was yeah. We had that in the Rocket Report this evening, and I did publish the link in the AIM window and over on YouTube as well, and that's got that report and also links to the videos. So definitely go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Moy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We're at the end of the list, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the net for anybody else with any questions, comments, or late check-ins. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
AC6CG recheck.
AC6CG, go ahead, Dave.
Kilo 0, Echo Hotel Romeo. Kilo 0, Echo Hotel Romeo.
Okay, Thomas, we got you on the list. K0EHR, thanks for checking in tonight. And David, back to you. AC6CG, go ahead. What have you got for us tonight?
Yeah, my apologies. I was on a walk with my wife listening to the net, and I heard you call for me, so I apologize for not being available. I just wanted to say, fabulous net, as always, really enjoyed it. And just had one quick question. And when is the next total solar eclipse? Is that in 2030 or 2028? Over.
There's a couple of them. There's I think 2027 and 2028. I'll have to go back and check. There's one over Iceland, and then there's one over Egypt. I'd love to be over. I'd love to see the one that's over in Egypt. A total solar eclipse over the Great Pyramids. And hopefully the mummy will not rise, or any other omens in that respect. But there are two of them coming up. Let me see. I'd have to pull that up and see. Real quick when those are. Okay, just a sec. Let me see. I'm scrolling down here. Where my eclipses are. There we go. Now, why is that showing up like that? That's interesting. I put in the link, and let's see. It's not what the link on my website isn't the one I put in. Let's see. Okay. I'll have to go back and take a look. Just a sec. Give me a minute. Let me see. Give me a minute. Let me see. Stand by there, Dave. I'll take a look, but I'm going to go ahead and move on down to Thomas, K0EHR. Good evening to you, Thomas. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening to the net, Bruce. Thanks for hosting the net. I was just driving to get some food, and I heard you guys on the Sky Up, so I thought I would check in and say hello. We met a couple times, including on the Star Haven, so I just thought I would say hello, and thanks for doing that.
Okay. All right. No worries. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's been a while. I have to remember that. I'm glad you come out to Star Haven. We've got a lot of stuff going on out there. Anytime, if anybody wants to come out there and take a look, they're more than welcome to. David, I'm looking at www.timeanddate.com, but it's coming up kind of funky this evening. Let's see, and I'm clicking on the links, and they're not showing up like they're supposed to do. So I don't know what's going on with that particular website. Here we go. Nope, let's see. I'm scrolling down. Yeah, a lot of they must be working on it. Total solar eclipse in 2027. Oh, that's the one that's over Egypt. Ancient city of Luxor will experience total almost 6.5 minutes of totality. They're not saying. And let's see, another total eclipse over Sydney Harbor. I know there's one over Iceland. Total solar eclipse, mainland Europe. No, let's see, in 2026. So there's one coming up then. Yeah, a whole bunch of eclipses coming up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I had a hard time finding it myself, so I appreciate that. And thank you again for the net. It's a fabulous net. I enjoy it a great deal. AC60G back to net.
Oh, that's interesting. My Safari browser is not working, but my Google Chrome one is working with the eclipse information. Yeah, that's much better. Iceland and Spain, August 12th of 2026, total solar eclipse. Egypt, Spain and Egypt in 2027, August 2nd. Then another one, Australia, New Zealand, July 22nd of 2028. So plan your vacations accordingly. So there you go. And that's from timeanddate.com. And the eclipses link, or timeanddate.com/eclipse/. So there you go. And it gives you some partial, some annular, some lunar eclipses as well. So there you go.
Thank you much, AC60G.
All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Don't see anything over on YouTube. I just posted that link both in the AIM window and over on YouTube as well. So you can check those out for eclipses. But yeah, my voice is kind of getting raw. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 28 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll... right now, let's see, that's, oh, Mary, 29 over there on YouTube. There's probably got some other people that are out there lurking over on YouTube. But that's what I see, that at least are making chats over there. So I do appreciate everybody checking in via YouTube. With that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net. I'd like to thank the 29 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeaters system. Also like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their repeater systems, Echo Links, all-star nodes, all the way that they can connect with you guys around the world. Yeah, we do have some issues with that every now and then. I'll try to let the powers that be know that we were having some issues over there. Or if you want, those that are still listening, if you had some issues with Skyhub Link tonight, send me an email and I'll pass that along of what you heard or what you were experiencing. Yeah, so I see Skyhub Link is janky at times. Janky is not really one of those engineering words that we like to use, but definitely know what's going on, which modes you're using, things like that. And I do see some comments up there as well. So if there's anything serious going on, let me know. All right, after those thanks, I'd like to thank everybody. Hopefully we'll meet again. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
KI0AR, if that's that I give, may I suggest one more, sir?
Hey, certainly. Go ahead, Moy. What have you got?
Okay, sir, checking on time and date website, and they listed one more total. I don't know if you mentioned it or not. You probably did. It just probably wasn't paying attention. But March 3, 2026, and looks like it's going to end up being maybe the eastern part of Russia down to eastern Australia, and the west coast, maybe California. Okay. Right. So, there's snow out there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problems, Moy. Yeah, I'm looking at that. That's a total lunar eclipse. That's a total lunar eclipse, and those last a lot longer. And it does look like we'll see partial eclipse here in the States, we won't see the totality, the mid-Pacific. Hawaii will get a nice view of that, and some of the southern Pacific islands. We'll see all of that total lunar eclipse. We'll see bits and pieces of it. But yeah, that is a good website to check out with that. So appreciate you sharing that as well, Moy. 73 to you. This is KI0AR.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Just wanted to throw that out there. I do check out time and date occasionally, and it does always, it always has some bits of information that is